know we should do this. Guys, help me. Am I gonna regret this? I don't know. I want to do it, but I shouldn't do it. I don't know. I did it. Anytime I find that I need to slow down, reconnect, I find that being in nature really helps. It's a really good way to stay present and reground yourself. Since it's the start of a new month, we're gonna go over some of my favorite journaling prompts. I always like to start with a general recap of how the month went, so I'll ask myself what went well this month and what didn't go so well. And then it's time for a little more reflection, so I'll ask what were some of my favorite moments, what challenges did I face, how can I improve for next month, did I achieve my goals this month, what were my goals for next month, what or who am I grateful for. Okay, now that we're done with that, it's time to move on to yeah, so this is how my mornings have been going so far. I scroll through messages and Instagram until I can force myself out of bed, brush my teeth, make coffee, check my work laptop, see a flood of emails and Slack messages, start responding, sit down to start knocking some easy tasks out, start my meetings, realize I'm still in pajamas, think about going to change, or actually do. Instead I go into more meetings, try and chip away at a big project around 6 p.m., realize that I never even checked my personal tasks on my Notion, and now I missed my deadline to return my Abercrombie package, and I forgot to say happy birthday to my best friend. I was supposed to edit a video today because my upload date is tomorrow, and now I crawl into my closet and cry. I call this living in reactive mode. Reactive means that you are just responding to all of the requests and messages and asks of other people on your time, whereas proactive mode means you are taking the proper time, especially in the morning, to really think about what your priorities are and set your tasks for the day based around what you actually want to accomplish, what's important to you, what is not only urgent, but what is important in the long run. And that way the days, the weeks, and months don't pass with you feeling like you haven't actually done all the things that you told yourself you were gonna do. So I want to get back into a more proactive routine so I could be a little bit more intentional and take ownership over my time. And that's what we're gonna try out today. This time when I wake up, instead of reaching for my phone, I'm just gonna get up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, drink some water before I reach for coffee, and actually get dressed so I feel like a real adult and I don't embarrass myself over Zoom. I'm giving some love to my plants so they don't die anytime soon, and now that I've had some time to wake up naturally, I go for a coffee and tidy up the kitchen a little bit. Then finally, I sit down at my desk and plan my day by sorting through tasks in my Notion, making sure I'm not missing any important deadlines, and time blocking my calendar to help me be realistic about my schedule. Okay, now I feel ready to start the day. I know all my priorities, if there's any appointments or deadlines that I might miss, I just need to keep top of mind. I definitely feel much better when I do this whole routine in the morning. The hard part is just being consistent with it and doing it every day. But there is one other thing I really like to do to keep myself sane, and I'm gonna show you guys on Sunday exactly what that is. Our couch is finally arriving. One of the more challenging parts of moving is having to live amongst a half-done space for weeks or even months. I'm the kind of person who's deeply affected by my environment and what surrounds me, so finally getting our last piece of major furniture delivered after 2 very agonizing months of waiting felt like a particularly big milestone in this new chapter. Okay, she's a little chunkier than I expected. I was not prepared for the height, so I'm not sure if it's a little overwhelming for her space. She's beautiful, and she's soft too. So nearly every Sunday for the last, since I was in college, it's been a long time, I have been doing something called a weekly review. You might have noticed it in some of my Notion videos. It's part of the Getting Things Done system, which I can link more about that below if you want to learn more. But in a nutshell, every week you're supposed to go through all of your tasks and events and just kind of like brain dump different ideas you're having and put it into a system, schedule your tasks, make sure that everything is captured so that you're not missing anything. And I find this so crucial to keeping my life on track. Otherwise, my mind is like literally all the time, and I will forget things, I will miss appointments, I will just have random ideas eating away at me in the back of my mind constantly, and it causes a lot of stress and anxiety. And this is one way to get all of that out from your brain onto paper and start to organize it and think a little bit more clearly. So with that being said, let me show you how I do this. So here is what my Notion looks like, and typically I will put, you know, like the date, the year as a title. I always add a little image for whatever I thought related to the week, maybe like a memory. And usually I have a focus here at the beginning of the week that I put. I didn't put one this week. Some accomplishments, disappointments. Sometimes I do like a time log. Any improvements I've written during the week, it'll show up here automatically. I have my average weight and average sleep time also from my daily reviews. Coming down here, you can see the completed this week, so I can kind of look through the different tasks that I finished and get an idea of, you know, everything I accomplished, everything I didn't. Then as we come down to the reflect section, I will make sure to go through different journal prompts, like what went well this week, what didn't, anything I'm excited about coming up, anything I'm anxious about. Here is the most important part where we're going through, and I will do the brain dump in like a Apple Notes or something simple, but I come in here into Notion and start taking all of those notes, sorting them into like my weekly calendar or scheduling them for ahead, making sure that I have everything captured. And then I'll go through my waiting on list, look at my projects, any deliveries, returns I need to do. I go through all of my finances, sometimes schedule meals, schedule workouts, buy things for my buy calendar. This is all very personal to me. Not everyone is going to have all of these tasks to check off every week. This is how my life is, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then we're gonna go and clean the house, because organizing is both digital and physical, and having a physical space that is clear, inspiring, and doesn't add to the chaos already going on in your head is also important. In addition to keeping my digital space clear, I also like to make sure that my physical environment is relatively clean and organized. I'm trying to get better about doing a little bit of tidying each day so the chores don't pile up and overwhelm me, but sometimes you just need a day to yourself to reset and get your space back to normal.
I'm on the sound, hoodie season, back around, no more summer bounce, little squeeze out, see that indoors when we're throwing down, oversized jumping with our underwear out. I'm on the sound, hoodie season, back around, no more summer bounce, little squeeze out, see that indoors when we're throwing down, oversized jumping with our underwear out. Like they're bringing anything to the table, bro, I'm not your son, see I'm able, I do my own bits.
I used to hate doing laundry. I actually still really hate doing laundry. It's not so much the washing part, it's just the folding and putting away part that I typically put off for several weeks at a time. And most of the time I actually just end up taking things out as the week goes on, so I never have to end up folding it. Yeah, I'm an adult, I promise. But I've been trying to get better about it, and I'm trying to stack this with like my YouTube TV watching time so it becomes more of a relaxing activity versus one that I deeply dread. So here's my problem. I feel like I did a lot today. Plan my week, did some chores around the house, put stuff away. That should be a win, but there's still so much to do. I have art that's sitting on the floor that I haven't hung up yet. I need to repot these plants. I need to go meal prep. I need to grocery shop so I can meal prep. The to-do list just feels like it never ends. And when one area of my life is finally going well, another area starts to fall apart. It's like I can never get everything together all at the same time and feel like I have my together, you know? Is that so much to ask? We got a delivery. It's here. Oh my God, I'm so excited, I'm so excited. I got it, thank you. Okay, this is a little bit heavier than I thought. There's this concept called wu wei in Chinese, which roughly translates to not doing. It's this idea that rather than resisting the challenges that come our way every day, we just go along with it and do the best with what we have in our current circumstances. In other words, going with the flow. This is actually the first big art piece I have ever bought. It took me a very long time to decide to actually pull the trigger, and it's by one of my favorite artists, Nara Yoshitomo. At first glance, it looks like a girl who is drowning in the water, but if you take a closer look, some people could argue that she actually looks like she's at peace. And I think this is a really good reminder that no matter how many times we create new Notion pages or rehash our morning routines, life is never going to be perfect. And it's up to us to decide if we are sinking or swimming. I know I didn't really answer the title of this video, so this is kind of clickbait, but that's YouTube for you. Bye.